Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for stopping by. I had a subscriber who requested a get ready with me using the Huda Beauty Textured Shadows Palette Rose Gold Edition. And so we are gonna go ahead and get this look together, We'll get this look together. We'll take it step by step, and I hope you enjoy this tutorial. So if you want to see how I got this look, just keep watching. Okay, I'm going to first start off using my Clarins Instant Comfort Lip Oil. This thing is amazing for chapped lips, for dry lips, especially now that it's winter time and it's easy for lips to get very dry. This just makes them feel so nice and smooth. Next, I'm going to go in with a primer. This is the Marc Jacobs Face Primer. You don't need a whole lot because then it'll make your foundation pill during the day, but a little bit, just dot it around your face, and then you'll just begin to smooth it out. Next, I'll be using the Laura Mercier Photo Edition Foundation, and this is in the shade Bamboo Beige. This foundation is amazing in pictures, and it just gives me a very flawless look. It has a somewhat dewy finish, so those of you who like matte finishes would probably not be crazy about this one. I just squeeze a little bit on the back of my hand, and just like I did with the primer, I dot it around my face so that then I can buff it in. So go ahead and take a foundation brush. This particular one is by It Cosmetics, and it releases every October. The bristles are like in the shape of a heart for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And just go ahead and buff in your foundation. I, as always, go pretty rigorous when I buff in my foundation. And nothing's more annoying than when you have a brush that sheds. Next, going in with concealer, I'm going to be using the Born This Way concealer. And I think this one is in the shade Light Medium. Now, I usually just keep it close to my under eyes. I don't do the whole triangle thing that a lot of people do, just because it ends up looking too cakey on me. So I just take it to my right under my eyes. Next, I'm going to go in with a setting powder. This is the Laura Mercier Translucent Powder. And I'm just going to set my under eyes with that just so that I don't get the creasing underneath my eyes throughout the day. This is an e.l.f. brush. I think it was one of the $3 ones. And I just use that to place the powder. Next, I'm going in with my Anastasia Dipbrow Pomade. I use the shade Dark Brown. My eyebrows are almost black, but I tend to use dark brown products and they suit me pretty well. And this is the Anastasia, I want to say it's the not the A23. I don't remember what the number is, but it's the one that has the spoolie on one end and the angled brush on the other. Next, we're going to go ahead and prime our eyes. This is the Urban Decay Primer Potion in the shade Enigma. I love this shade, and I think it was limited edition. I think it was part of the Gwen Stefani lineup. But just go ahead and put any eyeshadow primer on your lids. Alright, so the star of the show, the Huda Beauty Textured Shadows palette. Of course, I had to do that because every YouTuber does that. Alright, so we are going to start off with the shade Henna for our crease color. So go ahead and take a blending brush, tap off the excess so that you don't get too much. It's always easier to build up than it is to take away. And just go ahead and start placing that in the crease. Blend out as much as possible so that you don't have any harsh edges. And then I'm going to take this is a Wet n Wild brush. This is one of the 99-cent brushes. I think it was the concealer brush. I love it for things like my brow bone highlight. So now I am going to take the shade Beige, and it's the matte creamy color. It's perfect for a brow bone highlight. We're going to take a little bit of that, and we're going to place it on the brow bone. Now we're going to go in with the shade Man Eater. This shade is amazing. I've told y'all I love cranberry shades. You can see from my expression that I really do love this shade. We're going to start placing this on the outer corner of the eyelid. And I apologize if you hear snoring in the background. My dog is sleeping right next to me. Just go ahead and start packing that on the outer portion of the lid. Start bridging it over the top. You're not going to place anything in the middle of the lid, but you are going to, basically you're going to connect what will be the outer and inner lid. And so you just kind of want to create a little like rainbow type thing, like a little C, upside down C. And now you're going to place it on the inner portion of the lid as well. And basically just the middle will stay empty. Pack on as much as you like. Just keep on packing until you get your desired shade or your desired color. Have to give you that cutie alert because he was crying at the door. Where are you, Bruce? There he is. He loves to bunch up that white rug right there. It's comfy to him, I guess. Okay, back to what we were doing. So you're going to take a pencil brush. Now we're going to smoke out the outer lid. We're going to take the black shade, which is called Black Truffle. Take a little bit on that pencil brush, tap off the excess, and start building up that color in the outer portion of the lid. You don't want to take it in too far because then it starts looking a little messy. But start building up that color there on the outer portion of the lid. Right, now it's time for the fun stuff. Go ahead and take some Too Faced, or any glitter glue will do. I use the Too Faced glitter glue, still in the old school packaging. I know they've redesigned it since then. I find that this is the best thing that helps keep my glitter in place without it, without getting fallout and things like that. Shades like this that I want them to stay put all day and not smear all over the place, this glitter glue is just the best for that. Okay. Star of the show is going to be Trust Fund, and this is one of those textured shadows. You have to use your finger. A brush will not pick up product, and Huda Beauty has said, the company has said, your finger is the optimal way to pick up and apply these textured shades. So obviously I'm very excited about that color. And go ahead and start placing it in the middle portion of your lid, that little area that we left bare. That's where you're going to place it. And you kind of want to focal point in the middle, but you kind of want to try and blend it into that cranberry shade, into that man-eater shade. Okay, going back with the shade Man-Eater. We're going to go ahead and place a little bit more in the, kind of in the crease, but where we connected the outer and inner portion of the lid, kind of that upside down C, if you want to call it that. We're going to place a little bit more. We're going to go back in with that same cranberry shade Man-Eater. Take just a, I call it a square brush, but it's kind of like a liner brush, and just start applying that to the bottom portion, so under your eyelashes. Okay, next up, you're going to take another, well, I took a different concealer brush so that it would be clean since we had used the other one. You're going to take the shade Moon Dust, and this one is the only kind of satiny shade in the palette, and it can be picked up with a brush. You're going to use this to place on the, kind of like the tear duct area, the innermost corner of your eye, and this just really helps brighten the eye area, gives you that highlight. Next, going in with Kat Von D ink liner in the shade Trooper. I'm not going to do my normal Tarte Tartist clay liner because I am not going to wing it out. So whenever I don't wing out my liner, I end up not using that one. I use something like a felt tip liner, such as this one. And Trooper is pretty black, so it's pretty good when you're wanting that really dark liner look. Next, going in with a little bit of mascara, not too much because we're going to do false lashes, but enough to where when you do apply your lashes, it ends up, they end up blending together and you don't see that separation. Okay, let's go ahead and grab our false lashes, apply some lash glue. This is the Duo lash glue, but it's the one in the tube that has like the brush applicator. I love it because it gets tacky really, really fast. It stays on all day, and it doesn't stink like the one in the little tube. I feel like that one smells funny. My favorite part is always highlight. So we're going to go in with the Josie Maran Argan Oil highlight. I can't remember exactly what it's called. I'll put it in the description box below. This is the old school packaging. I know they've kind of revamped it since then, but it's still the same product. I always like to use a cream highlight prior to using powder because it provides kind of a base and it just helps take the highlight to the next level. It just helps intensify the look. This one on its own is really amazing, but when you add powder, it just adds that much more. Okay, we're going to go in with Anastasia's highlight in the shade So Hollywood. I know this one was sold out for the longest time. They have since brought it back, at least they did over the Thanksgiving season, and I know up until I think a couple of weeks ago. I have not checked the website since, but I think they probably still have it. This shade is amazing. It's beautiful. And it's one of those golds that just does not look incredibly dark on me. I can pull it off really, really well. Okay, so I forgot to show the cover of this palette. This is the NARS Stephen Klein blush palette. And I am taking one of the shades in that palette as my blush. And it's actually the shade Dolce Vita. Okay, lastly, we're going in with a MAC lipstick in the shade Blankety. This is one of my favorite nude shades because it's not like a concealer looking lipstick. It's got that, it's like the perfect nude. It's got just the right amount of brown to make it just like a nude cream. I don't know, it's perfect. That's the final look. Alright guys, so that is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed this video, this tutorial, this get ready with me using the Huda Beauty eyeshadow palette. I love this palette. I love those showstopper shades. Y'all know I love those. They're super easy to work with. I don't mind using my finger. I know that was a lot of people's gripe, but I really don't mind because the end result is stunning. So I hope you enjoyed this. Before I let you go, let me give you the verse of the day. And it comes from, let's see, sorry, Matthew 1:23, and it says, "The virgin will conceive and give birth to a son, and they will call him Emmanuel," which means God with us. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you soon. Please hit the like button if you liked this and want to see more Get Ready With Me. If you have suggestions or if you'd like to see a Get Ready With Me using a particular product, just let me know in the comments below. And if you would subscribe if you haven't already, and this way you stay tuned to any future videos that I post. I'll see you soon. Bye.